Alright, so if you've been around recently, you would know that AI is being used for all sorts of things currently. There's all sorts of things like DALL-E 2, Stable Diffusion, all your other diffusion programs, and Midjourney and all that stuff, right? And so what I would want to do today is I want to show you how you can use AI in order to generate fully fledged game textures like this. Completely seamless and overall really good quality, and it all runs locally on your own computer. So I'm going to show that to you today. Alright, so first, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to actually grab the software for generating the AI image that you'll need in order to use, in order to generate normal maps and all that stuff off of. So go to itch.io. Great place for all sorts of software and games. There's all sorts of things here. Uh, Not all of them are to my liking, of course. Um, so let's go do an MKD. This is who you're going to want to search for. And he's actually got two great pieces of software here. So we have Stable Diffusion, and we also have flow frames, both of which are pretty cool. What you're going to want is actually the Stable Diffusion GUI. So pretty much just download this, extract it with 7-zip, I believe, works well. Um, so yeah, anyways, use any extracting software you really need, and then from there it's really easy. You just go through the download steps. I thought I'd show flow frames. It's pretty cool. Pretty much you could just get 60 FPS video from your input. I don't really know too much about it because I haven't really used it myself, but I just thought it would be cool to note that this person has also released this software. Alright, and this is the software, Materialize, that you'll use in order to create things like your normal maps, occlusion maps, and all sorts of other things, height maps, yeah. Anyway, this is what will actually generate a usable material in a game world. Anyway, so once you go here, once you download it, you'll be brought to this. Anyway, so here is the Stable Diffusion GUI. So there's a few ways you can use this. Keep in mind, he says that he recommends a recent NVIDIA GPU. I believe, in fact, it has to be an NVIDIA GPU right now, unfortunately. So if you have AMD, I think there's other software for AMD GPUs, but currently I haven't really looked for any because I'm running a 2060. So yeah, anyway, back to Stable Diffusion. So the GUI basically means that you don't have to interface with the Stable Diffusion model any more than you have to, really. All you do is type in a prompt, and it's just like any generating website that's currently available. All right. So what you're gonna want to do is, if you have a powerful enough GPU, blah blah blah, you've installed everything. The installer should go through all the steps and stuff. You'll be brought to this. You'll just press the install button, and it works really well. All right. Make sure you have an internet connection when you're installing. That's also important. Anyway, so in order to generate textures, let's say I want a brick wall texture. Let's say it's stylized, hand painted substance, PBR material. Now, this is not. This may or may not generate what I actually want it to, but that's what prompt editing is for. You'll go back and edit your prompt. I personally, when I'm generating textures, I like to use the K-Hune sampler, but the Euler sampler also works really well. And make sure you have generate seamless tileable images on in order to generate good textures, so that way you don't have to do a bunch of tweaking later. Anyway, so you got detail, creativeness. Pretty much most of these I keep on defaults except for detail. I like to amp up the detail a little bit when I'm using the Euler sampler. Anyways, once Stable Diffusion is all loaded up, you just press the generate button. It'll actually prompt you with like a little thing where it's like loading up Stable Diffusion, but I've already loaded it, so that usually takes anywhere from a minute to 2 minutes. If it takes longer than that, try restarting the application. And yeah, anyway, takes a little bit because I only have a 2060. It runs really fast on 3090s from what I hear. Pretty sure he says that on his machine, yeah, GPU 2.7 seconds on a 3090. Really fast. Anyway, so this image is generating. It's a brick wall texture, stylized, hand-painted substance, PBR material. Now it's running, and let's see what it generates. I think I might have left the upscaler on. Yeah, I did. I did indeed leave the upscaler on, which is not what I wanted to do. Hold on, let me cancel that. Because I think I'm running out of VRAM. Trying to record and do this all at the same time. Whoa, my computer is lagging. Ooh, that's not what we wanted. Anyways, we're going to try that again. I'm going to try to get out of this software as quickly as I can because it really drags my computer down. Or I'll have to restart it completely. I might have to do that. Alright, back to normal. Try that again. I think the upscaler is what really got me there. Let's go to my prompt history. Alright, so there's my prompt loaded in again. Alright, now you get to see that it's loading Stable Diffusion down here in the bottom left hand corner. Alright, my upscaler should be off. Yep, alright. So it'll just have to load in the model and then it will generate the image, which shouldn't take too long. Now I'm not going to really bother editing this, but yeah. Shouldn't take too much longer. There we go. Alright, I forgot to check the generate seamless. Let's try it again. Unfortunately, my VRAM is slightly struggling trying to run OBS and Stable Diffusion at the same time, but it's going. Alright, almost there. Alright, cool, perfect. So, we take this image, find it in my folder, there it is, right here. Perfect. Alright, so, don't need Stable Diffusion anymore. Now we hop over to Materialize, which is also pretty self-explanatory software. Alright, so I'm going to clear all texture maps. And so in order to import a texture of any type, you just press the O button. I have no idea what the P button does. Anyway, we go to Stable Diffusion, Images. There we go. There's the brick texture. Select that. See, looking very normal. That's not what we want. We want more. So pretty much you just press create. You have all these options available of all sorts of possible settings. I usually like to keep it on just default. Works pretty well for me. I could turn up like, you know, the contrast or like things like that. And then normal maps, pretty basic stuff. Metallic maps, and since Unity doesn't have smoothest or edge maps, I'm just going to skip those. And then AO map. Now I show the full material, and bam, there you go. There's a fully fledged PBR brick texture right there. If I wanted to, I could switch this up a little bit. Maybe make it less extreme. Ta-da. Now the bricks are slightly less unbricky. I don't know. Anyway, they were looking kind of weird. And then if you wanted to tile it, you go to tile maps, you can change the tiling here. Since we generated a seamless texture already, it should be pretty fine with how that works. You do edge fall off just to make sure things blend really nicely. If it does have any sharp edges, then shuffle material, we can turn up that tiling to something like 3. And as you can see, tiles perfectly. Now that metallic map is a little too metallic, so I'm just going to remove that. There we go. That's something you might find on the side of a building. And ta-da, there you go. There's a fully fledged texture. If you want to save it, you just go Save Project, and then you choose a folder you want to deposit into. And then you just name your file. Like, for instance, I will just name this like bricks or something like that. And then it would save all of these textures into that directory. And there you go. There's a fully fledged texture generated by AI in a few minutes. And once you have this all set up and running and you're not using OBS, you can just fly through and generate tons of textures. So yeah, this is really cool, groundbreaking stuff, and yeah, there's all sorts of possibilities with this. Alright, that's it.